Let's get another check of weather with our chief meteorologist, Dan Cianca. Dan, all this rain that's been dumped on our state, it's pretty amazing to see that places like the Orville Dam is even able to release some water.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember back, was it 2017, I think, where that spillway was compromised, and there was a lot of concern that the reservoir might fail or something. A lot of people were evacuated, and we saw all of the erosion as it cut through the rock below it. It was pretty wild. Glad to see it working properly as it's supposed to. Unfortunately, many folks across the state dealing with flooding today, especially in the Sierra foothills in Kern County and in Fresno County, places like that. We're keeping an eye on those things. A lot of warm rain with this storm system that did melt some snow and caused extra water to reach the Kern River and the Tule River today, and we've seen some of the scenes out of there. And of course, here locally, we had a lot of flooding issues as well today. Could have been worse, certainly. I guess we could be grateful for that. But the wind last night causing some problems. And we heard from Natalie a little while ago as she told the story of folks in Monterey dealing with those power outages. I wanted to give you an update on where we're seeing them, and really most of the peninsula is still without power tonight, unfortunately. I don't know when it's going to come back on for you, but I know that they are out there working, trying to get it going. And it looks like a few neighborhoods have come back online, kind of on the, I don't know, east of Monres Avenue and south of Fremont for the most part, but hoping to get the rest of the peninsula up soon. Not many other issues across the region. We have a few small outages across portions of Santa Cruz County, but not too much. We're only looking at 1,000 customers without power at the moment in Santa Cruz County. Monterey County a little different at 32,000 customers still without power. That's down from 36,000, so 4,000 y'all. Got them lights on tonight, recharging, watching some Netflix. Just look at some of the wind gusts from yesterday. I know I showed you the same graphic last night, but if you weren't watching last night, 70 miles per hour was the windiest spot, Long Ridge, just south of Carmel Valley. The Monterey Airport, 59 mile per hour wind gusts right around 10 o'clock last night. And the Salinas Airport, 50 miles per hour. And I can tell you here in Salinas, we are right across the road from the airport. It was gusting to 40 miles per hour for about 8 hours last night. It just blew and blew and blew. Luckily, we didn't have too many problems here. There were a few outages in town. But really, the south side of the bay was where it was the windiest. The north side, Santa Cruz wasn't too windy. Watsonville certainly wasn't. And out there tonight, we don't have much wind. It's a little bit breezy along the coast, and that's about it. But no major issues late this evening. Really, the storm system that caused all the wind has moved on. We are still sitting under that atmospheric river, though, so we're in a fairly mild atmosphere. That's why it's still in the 50s at this hour. Look at King City, still 57 degrees. It's still quite warm. So at least on the Monterey Peninsula tonight, it's not going to get down to 37 overnight. 51 degrees is a little bit more manageable with some extra socks and blankets if you're trying to stay warm through the overnight hours. But that doesn't take away from any folks that are stuck outside. Unfortunately, overnight, it's still going to be chilly because it's, you know, not 70 degrees right now. Let's take a look at what we have seen, though, into the past, and we're going to get a look at some 24-hour rainfall totals. Now, this is just the last 24 hours, so we're seeing some higher totals in the mountains, but I did add up some cities. We're still looking at some rain out there tonight, so that's messing with my totals, but here are a few locations that I was able to get some numbers for. Anderson Peak on the Big Sur coast, almost 1 foot of rain in just a 48-hour period. Very high amounts of water in the Santa Lucia range, and a lot of that came actually today. I think I was looking at some of them last night. It was only like 3 to 4 inches, so overnight we got like 8 inches of rain, maybe 7, 8 inches. So some incredible numbers in the Santa Lucias. A lot of that water still flowing down to the Salinas River, and we're going to be talking about that in the next couple of days. How about Salinas? 2 1/4 inches of rain. Somebody asked me what the daily rainfall record was in Salinas. Well, it's about 3 1/4 inches, and that happened back in 2014. So we weren't anywhere close to that, but it was still very wet in Salinas. Carr Lake in the center of town. I was driving down the freeway today, and I thought, man, we should build some docks on this thing. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. Maybe a couple of little patios. We could sit on the lake, watch the birds. Kind of like the lake in the middle of town. Santa Cruz, just shy of 2 inches of rain, a lot more in the mountains. We were in the 4 to 6 inch range in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Monterey, 1 3/4. And keep in mind, there isn't a lot of data coming in Monterey because a lot of people's personal weather stations are not working, and I usually use a lot of those in my numbers. Watsonville, it was wet, 3 inches of rain. We had flooding all around town, obviously. So a lot of rain there, and even Hollister coming in at 2.5 inches of rain. So what is next? Well, we still have some showers out there because the atmospheric river is still sitting over us right now. Now, typically we need a weather system to really make it rain, even though the moisture tap is here and that weather system has moved on. But some weak disturbances in the flow may get the showers going in the coming days. So we have a chance of showers over the next couple of days. Nothing super heavy expected, nor long term, but a few rounds rolling through. Futurecast isn't showing it all that well. The models just haven't really handled a lot of these systems well. I'm not super happy with it. So I can tell you, maybe we can use our imaginations. Overnight tonight, a few lingering showers coming through. During the day tomorrow, we'll get a little bit of clearing, so I expect the sun to come out in some areas tomorrow. But unfortunately, that sun is just going to charge up the atmosphere. It's going to add some heat. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and the moment the updrafts begin, the moment the air starts to rise, when it warms up tomorrow, it's going to turn back into clouds, and in some cases that's going to mean rain showers. So I expect a few showers popping up over the hills tomorrow afternoon, moving to the east. The farther east they go, the more unstable the air is, the colder the air is aloft, and the higher the chance of thunderstorms. So actually it looks like the Central Valley tomorrow could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. My wife told me she was going to work for me tomorrow. I'm going to drive out to the Central Valley and take a look at those strong to severe thunderstorms. I'll send you some pictures. Don't worry about it. But either way, a few showers popping up around the region tomorrow. The farther east you go, San Benito County, for example, you might hear a rumble of thunder tomorrow afternoon. We're going to do the same thing on Sunday as well. Very similar situation. Partly cloudy skies, a few isolated showers here and there. The farther east you go, you could see a rumble of thunder. So let's quickly look at your temperature forecast tomorrow. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. A light southerly breeze going to keep Santa Cruz County mostly in the 50s. We might squeeze in a 60 degree, but that's about as warm as it'll get. Watsonville back to 59 tomorrow, but look at Salinas, mid 60s, and it's going to be muggy. 63 in Hollister, 62 in Gilroy. Monterey Peninsula even seeing some 60s tomorrow. And wait till I show you our southern Monterey County spots. You're thinking 70s, weren't you? No, mid-60s though. 66 in Greenfield, Soledad, and muggy temperatures is that. One of the warmest days we've seen in the last couple of months, believe it or not. So that 7-day forecast shows showers throughout the weekend, and then the next storm system comes in. It's going to use that atmospheric river, and it is likely going to produce heavy rain again, and that is most likely early in the day on Tuesday. We're likely to see some gusty winds as it approaches as well. I am concerned about this for flooding reasons. The good part of it, or maybe the silver lining, is that it looks like it's going to move through fairly quickly, so faster than what moved through last night. If it stalls at all, we're going to be in trouble with flooding again. On top of that, we may still be in trouble with flooding because of all the water heading down the Salinas River. Watching. Beyond that, it looks like we're going to dry out for the end of the week. Inland areas, same story here. Showers, maybe a thunderstorm this weekend. Rain picking up late Monday into Tuesday could get heavy. We're going to see wind with that system as well. Maybe a break by the end of the week, but lots to watch out for. So stay tuned to my forecast, Hannah.
All right, thanks so much for that, Dan.